So, hello everybody. This is Dad speaking. I have the honor here to have the Fireside Chat together with a colleague of mine, and we will have the topic of digital access and employment promotion, as it is here for the whole conference. And we are talking about promoting inclusive digital access to employment opportunities and information. And in the focus, we will talk about a digital handbook, but what it will be, we will discuss it later, and this will be kind of a surprise. And yeah, I'm Helle. I'm wearing here jeans, blue jeans, brown shoes, and scarf, and white vest, and light little green for the Zero Project Conference shirt beyond. So, and I'm pretty happy that we have a talk together today here. And I would like to hand over to Nada Abdelhai, also working for GIZ. Like me, we are both inclusion advisors. Me for Yemen and she for Egypt. So, I take the floor to you. Please
Thank you very much.
yourself.
Thank you very much, Hala. Well, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. It's really great to be here and to get to talk about the work that we're doing at GIZ. First of all, my name is Nada Abdelhai. I'm an Egyptian woman. I'm veiled. I'm wearing a camel blazer, black pants, and top. I'm sitting here in front of an audience in the UN office in Vienna. And from the professional side, I work as a technical advisor in GIZ Egypt within the governance portfolio, specifically in a project called Equal Opportunities and Social Development. For those who do not know, GIZ is a technical development cooperation agency. We work closely with government, civil society organizations, and partners to promote inclusive social and economic development. In Egypt, we are at an early stage in disability inclusion. However, we are providing a unique opportunity to shift the model and the approach to disability inclusion from a model or charity-based approach to a social and rights-based approach. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nada. And I think the social approach of disability, this is the approach that we all are aiming for when we are here at the conference. And this leads me also to the next question. So you already described a little bit of what your project is doing in GIZ. But when it comes now to the Digital Accessibility Handbook, could you just describe this product and the measures you are implementing within this handbook, and how exactly did it come to this idea that you wanted to create it together with your colleagues? That would be very interesting.
Yes, of course. So first of all, we take a holistic approach to our work. We support youth ages 16 to 29. We work on their social empowerment and active participation, but also their capacities and skills development, as well as other points of contact. So, for example, our institutional partners and civil society organizations, as I was saying. However, there is a key component in our project where the Digital Accessibility Handbook came about, which is our approach to promoting access to digital solutions that allow persons with disabilities to engage and to reach information and employment opportunities. So the idea of the handbook came about from the fact that only 3% of the internet is accessible. And our everyday utilization of different platforms, of different websites, to a vast majority of the population is hindered due to limited access, or none at all. And in line with our goal to promote inclusivity and digital accessibility, and our support of our partner ministry and the national strategies in Egypt as well as globally, the idea of the handbook came about for it to be a tool that supports developers, disability experts, youth, and other digital enthusiasts to be able to have a reference to support their accessible development process of digital solutions. And this is how the idea came about and where it is stemming from in terms of our project's approach, GIZ as a development cooperation, and in line with our national strategies as well.
Okay, great. Sounds like a very holistic approach and very socialized. So, when it comes to the handbook, could you give us a little bit more input on it, how it is structured, which kind of design you're using, and some other features maybe that are very special for this handbook, so that our dear audience here in the conference could have a broader picture on it?
Yes, and also there will be a visual shown on the screen right now, which will kind of explain what I will be sharing here in words, but more of in terms of symbols and visuals to the journey and the process itself. So the handbook, as I was saying, is a digital platform. It's a website, and in terms of an experience, you as a reader get to see several chapters. You get to navigate in an easy and accessible manner, depending on your interest and depending on what you are looking for, with several types of content. So what will you really learn by using this handbook? You will get to, first of all, understand concepts and terms such as accessibility, inclusion, usability, the overlaps between them, the differences between them. And then you get also an idea about the digital accessibility scene or approach, whether in Egypt, on the local context, or globally. And this sets the base for you to then get into more technical and more process-oriented understanding of how to ensure that you are thinking from a human-centric approach about your development of any digital solution. So you get to understand the know-how and some tools such as a user journey map or an empathy canvas. And if you are to develop a solution, a digital solution, how can you really think from the point of view of the user and the needs that are necessary to ensure that they are involved and thought about. So this chapters following get into that and shows this approach and this kind of process. And then you get to also learn about the web content accessibility guidelines. There's a checklist that allows you to really, that guides you to really develop in a more accessible format. You can also get to see how Arabic as a language, there are specifics to it and that make it different from, for example, coding or programming in English. And this is another edge to this handbook. It's going to be bilingual, it's in both English and Arabic, and it ensures that if there are to be further versions or variations in its language, that people are thinking about how this is necessary for developers to know that there is more than one way of really reaching your target audience. And so there's a chapter on that. There are further case studies. There's a glossary and other resources. So really it is a journey in and of itself, and it takes you on that to make sure that you are really thinking from a human-centric approach. You're really participatory in your nature of any any product that you're thinking about that is digital.
Great. So we can say that nothing about us without us from the UN Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities is also key here. And this brings me to the next question. So you said that your partner, one of your partner, is the Egyptian Ministry of Social Solidarity. But besides to this, do you also involve other stakeholders, just in terms of nothing about us without us?
Yes,
as it
of
is
course.
so crucial.
Of course. So we work generally with participatory approaches. So we ensure that all our activities, all our trainings, or all our engagements are include all different types of stakeholders. So in addition to our partner ministry, which has the mandate to support access to persons with disabilities to ensure that they receive their rights, that they practice their rights and receive the different services, we have also engaged organizations of persons with disabilities. We have engaged persons with disabilities themselves, so the handbook is developed by and for persons with disabilities. different types of disabilities, including sensory, locomotor, or intellectual disabilities, have been participating in this curation and development process. There are different personas also reflected in this handbook to really further understand how does one person see or use a tool different than another. We have also engaged trainers, master trainers were trained on the content of this handbook to ensure its sustainability, to ensure that they are able to share this knowledge within their environment and within their areas of work. They trained junior trainers as well, so we have that cohort as well as another stakeholder. And of course, we have our implementing partners. So the German nonprofit organization Impact are one of our implementing partners, and 0360. We have also a local Egyptian design company working on the design of this handbook, as well as making sure that it is accessible, of course. So there were several rounds of accessibility audits that were done by other companies such as Access All. And so we ensure that different stakeholders are engaged, that they are all actively participating, that they're all part of the different phases of the product development, validation, and ensuring that it is meeting the objective of it in essence, basically.
Thanks, Nada. So we are nearly coming to an end, unfortunately. But nevertheless, I would just make the focus on another time on you talked about accessibility, and I would like to know now what is the role of digital accessibility here when it comes to this project. Could you just frame it, and then we came unluckily to our last question.
Yes, so we're in a conference that talks about both employment and ICT. So digitalization is on every agenda and is rapid. We're all rapidly moving towards digital transformation. However, not everyone is thinking about how to make sure that this process is accessible and inclusive of all. So digital accessibility here for us is crucial to ensure that there is a transition to employment, that there is a governing structure that allows for persons with disabilities to be able to reach employment opportunities, to be able to access more information, to further learn, to further get training or other skills development opportunities. So the Digital Accessibility Handbook is also part of a bigger program called Empowering Inclusion in Employment, and it's one component that complements the second component, which is an incubation program for startups. Startups that are thinking about solutions, digital solutions, to promote access to employment for persons with disabilities. Some startups, for example, were building e-learning platforms to ensure that persons with visual impairment or auditory impairments are able to access opportunities for further learning and development. Other startups were building a tool to make sure that inaccessible documents or files are accessible in effort to make sure that they can reach, that they are able to engage further in the labor market. And so this is the second component of the program. It's a 7-month incubation program. The handbook is a tool to ensure that this process is accessible, and it gives them something to be able to further ideate, design, plan, test, and launch. It's also very important because we work very closely with the government, and the government of Egypt is on its way towards digital transformation, and there is a protocol combining 3 ministries to develop or to further develop an existing national network for persons with disabilities. And this is also an online portal, and the goal of it is to make sure that employers are able to reach persons with disabilities and vice versa, but also to make sure that in the future it is the access portal to further services and training opportunities. And in our work with our partner ministry, we are trying to make sure that this tool is able to also support such initiatives and products.
Okay, we are running out of time. We have 24 seconds left, so have you a last quick message to the audience before
Yes.
I end.
Of course. Well, this was great. Thank you so much for the opportunity. From our end, we are seeking further collaborations and partnerships to see how we can build on this product as well as many others. We're also really looking on how to diversify our initiatives and our products. So it would be great to plan ahead, to work together, and to make sure that we are building an inclusive digital tomorrow, if not today. Thank you very much for listening, and Halle for the great moderation.
Thank you very much also, and thank you for having here, and have a great conference. We are only at the first day, and there are very much other nice, interesting sessions coming in the upcoming 2 days.
Thank you.
Goodbye, and
Bye-bye.
thank you.